Hey, what's up, universe? It is 2:24 p.m. on Saturday, May 20th, 2023. How do I want to say this? I have concluded things with faith. It's one of these things where it was a very fast, intense kind of like 72 hours. A lot was communicated. And it's an interesting thing for me, as I mentioned in the previous video, about having a history of wanting to save my partners. And when I was in Costa Rica, part of the work that I did down there was around recognizing this part of myself, the part of myself that sees potential, is like a potential addict, right? Like where it's like, oh, potential, and like chases it, right? I didn't feel that with Faith, although I was still aware that I could really identify with her. And as I communicated in my previous video, I owned the desire to want to, ease what I felt was suffering. You know what I mean? So that was absolutely present. I'll own that. And while I don't feel like it overtook me, so to speak, it did dampen some of my ability to receive or acknowledge, like, I don't want to say red flags, but the things that come up where you're just kind of like, okay, like things that your mind notes, or at least my mind noted, that was kind of like, okay. So that desire to want to ease her suffering, or my perception of her suffering, right, dampened my inputs on the things that were actually like, hey, I need to pay attention to these, as well, more than I was. So nobody did anything wrong. It's, it's just how things unfold. I just realized that we approach things differently, in a way that I'm not ready or available to, how do I want to say, like, participate in, that's just kind of how it is. Again, it's not right or wrong. It's just that, yeah, I'm not going to participate in certain ways. And I expect others to be the same. Like, everybody's kind of have, the way that they are and aren't going to do things, you know what I mean? As far as like how they navigate and what's in alignment for them is basically what it comes down to. So yeah, the best way to put it is that my desire to ease that perceived suffering dampened my ability to receive the inputs that were like, hey, this is not quite in alignment. But at the same time, I was able to recognize that and honor that, and grateful for 3 days rather than like 3 months or 3 years or this kind of a thing, you know what I mean? So thank you, universe. It helped remind me that, like, I have things that I need to do, like on my focus, like community and connection, like these are things that I'm meant to help contribute. And whoever is meant to be in alignment with that is going to show up. And while she showed up, like, it was still this interesting kind of reflection of like, there was just energy present where I'm like, I used to have that. I used to do that. That's not who I am anymore. So it was this interesting, like, reflection. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what to make that mean. But it is an interesting experience nonetheless. So I've been decompressing from this, and I will probably continue to do so a little bit, yet I'm also going to start to focus on other things. So to cut over completely to something else, right? I would like to mention that I am working with a YouTuber who was at the Zendesk Relate conference, and her name's Tina, and she has the Lonely Octopus is the name of her platform, and she has a YouTube channel that. Sorry, Tina. I'm forgetting the name of it. I haven't honestly clicked on the link yet. The reason I'm even mentioning this, the point is that I'm working with her to create some content for her Lonely Octopus platform. So I'm grateful for that. That's an interesting thing to bring in some things that I've been looking to do, right? Like development and education and projects that I find interesting. So that's really cool. And so that's amazing. And then what was it? Yesterday was the new moon, right? So here in Central Time, 10:53 a.m. was like when it was like the new moon, right? Well, I found a job posting on LinkedIn, and I was reading it, and it's for a company called Unstructured. And I was reading the job description, and I'm like, oh, this sounds amazing. Like, I could totally do this. And in fact, I've done this, like, I'm in the middle of doing this, like, you know what I mean? And so I was like, well, it was an easy apply. So I just applied, sent my resume, and then I messaged, the recruiter. And the thing is that I realized that I submitted the job application at 10:53 a.m. That was not intentional, but I was like, whoa, what the heck? So we'll see what comes of that. So, and then I do want to state publicly my gratitude to Reese. I was able to send her half of my payment to her, and she's always very kind, and I just want to acknowledge that. So, still managing stuff around the finances, you know what I mean? So all of this stuff is still in action. I'm still making it down the other side of Everest. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for sharing the journey with me. I really greatly appreciate it. I appreciate your attention and your energy and your support and your love and your grace. Thank you so much. All right, I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.